Coming up on Jackson State News Now, election results are in. And Ohio's vote for dope is just ahead. Hello everyone, welcome to Jackson State News Now. I am Brittany Williams. Topping our news for today, election results 2015. Mississippi voters rejected state support of Initiative 42. Tuesday ended years of work to support a plan to guarantee effective public schools in Mississippi, as voters sided with Republican leaders who opposed judicial oversight of legislative spending decisions. For amendment education funding, 52% were against, while 48% approved. Amendment education funding alternatives, 59% were for 42, while 41% were for 42A. Ohio plans to be the 5th state to legalize recreational marijuana usage and the 24th for medical purposes. Supporters of the legalization were left with broken hopes when votes rejected the idea at the ballot box. Reed Binion reports.
This was, folks, the first step to legalization. We're not going away.
Ian James of the group Responsible Ohio doesn't have to go away, but his organization's plan to legalize marijuana in the state does have to go back to the drawing board. This after Ohio voters rejected Tuesday a measure called Issue 3, the first ballot measure in U.S. history aimed at simultaneously legalizing both medical and recreational marijuana. It would have allowed commercial production, retail sale, and personal ownership of marijuana plants in small amounts. But Issue 3 had issues of its own, 10 of them to be precise. 10 being the number of predetermined farms that would have gotten exclusive commercial growing rights for a period of 4 years. Advocacy groups like the one headed up by Kurt Steiner slammed the plan as an attempt by its backers to profit by effectively writing themselves into the law.
Issue 3 was designed and built primarily to garner massive and exclusive profits for a small group of self-selected wealthy investors.
Those investors included celebrities like Nick Lachey, former lead singer for the band 98 Degrees.
I'm Nick Lachey. Ohio is my home.
And while Lachey and his co-investors will have to wait to cash in on pot profits in Ohio, the same issue will be on ballots in several states next year. I'm Reed Binion reporting.
Houston voters reject an equal rights ordinance that expands discrimination protection in 15 categories. Opponents say that extending gender identity protection would allow men to use women's bathrooms. One leading critic of the ordinance is urging all sides to come together.
We say to those who did not agree with how we voted, evidently overwhelming in our city, we'd say, come, let's sit down, let's reason together under God.
More than 61% of voters rejected the Equal Rights Ordinance. Still to come on Jackson State News Now, we'll take a look at our weather forecast. We will also look at news from around the nation. Stay tuned for a special segment into our Wellness Wednesdays report. You are watching Jackson State News Now.
I'm Alexia Norwood, a graduate of Jackson State University, and I'd like to challenge you to join me in the 10 for 10 challenge. All you have to do is to give $10 to Jackson State University and challenge 10 of your friends to do the same and upload the video. Be sure to tag at Jackson State on Facebook and use hashtag JSU10for10 on Instagram and on Twitter.
Chapter of Sigma Alpha Epsilon is denying accusations that it turned people away from a party based on their skin color. Reporter Lauren Victory has more.
It's a terrible thing. And if it did actually happen.
Friends of Yale's Sigma Alpha Epsilon brothers are having a hard time believing allegations that have now made national headlines.
People I do know I really like, and I was very shocked by what I've heard.
The rumor is that a fun Halloween party turned tense this weekend. A brother guarding a door at the High Street house accused of denying entrance based on race.
She went up and she tried to get into SAE via her residential college. She was like, hey, I'm in TD, you're in TD, can we like get into this party? And he just looked at her and was like, oh no, it's for white girls only.
I defer all comments to be made to our national headquarters.
Chapter President Grant Mueller couldn't say much, but did deny that an SAE member made racial comments that night. He added that people inside the party came from multiple ethnic backgrounds, something another reveler confirmed with Fox 61 News off camera. Still, some say this wasn't an isolated situation.
Those incidences have occurred multiple times on campus, especially at SAE, and it's just really frustrating.
SAE brothers plan to meet with members of the Afro-American Cultural Center this week.
We're still working to resolve the issue, and obviously are still looking to promote diversity on campus as best we can.
Emailed statements from both Yale and SAE's national headquarters said leaders will continue to investigate what happened.
Right now, I kind of feel like there's a lot of he said, she said going on, so I don't think there's any like verifiable facts.
In March, University of Oklahoma's chapter was shut down after a viral video of its members chanting a racist song. Just ahead on Jackson State News Now, your complete weather forecast.
McCall from the Jackson State University Tigers, and I personally would like to challenge all of you to give to JSU 10 for 10 Challenge. All you have to do is give $10, 10 recurring dollars to JSU, and challenge 10 of your friends. And go out there on the website and post it to your account at hashtag JSU 10 for 10.
Taking a look at our current weather conditions in the capital city. There will be isolated sprinkles, partly sunny with a high of 78. Calm winds heading east at 5 miles per hour. Tonight, mostly cloudy with a low around 62. Taking a look at the National Doppler radar, the National Weather Service has issued its first significant winter storm warning. It's expected to impact the Colorado Rockies Wednesday into Thursday. The complex storm system will bring heavy snow and wind to the eastern Utah and much of the Colorado Rockies above 7,000 feet. It could see 1 foot or more of snowfall. Now it's time for a segment we call Wellness Wednesdays. This is where we help you take care of your health. The holidays are upon us, but with them comes stress. But there are ways to relieve that physical tension. Holly Pfeiffer joins us in this Health Minute.
We're going to start first with the breath, and the reason we're going to do that is that's the most direct way to interrupt stress.
For more than 30 years, Dennis Buttermer has worked as a mind and body coach, helping people manage their tension. That stress usually creeps up higher than usual during the holidays, with shopping, traveling, and family gatherings. But Dennis has some ways to keep that stress level to a minimum. First, just breathe.
What we're going to do is a yogic breath. So we're going to inhale through the nose, and we're going to fill up our stomach like a balloon, and then let your chest rise up. And on the exhale, you just squeeze the stomach gently.
Then, create a relaxation response.
I'm going to ask you to either tap alternately on the outsides of your shoulders, or with your index fingers just alternately tapping on the outsides of your knees. And now imagine a source of this holiday stress for you. It could be pressures, expectations, could even be grief. But when you tap the right side, it's actually tapping more so on the left side of the brain and vice versa. So it's hard to hold that upset state that you're in.
For today's Health Minute, I'm Holly Pfeiffer.
It says take a few minutes every day to reduce stress. It can help sleep, blood pressure, and tension. It's time for sports here on Jackson State News Now.
The Jackson State women's soccer team finished their regular season Friday afternoon as they took on Southern University at the JSU Soccer Complex. The Lady Tigers are second seed going into the SWAC tournament and will be facing Prairie View for the first round. The Lady Tigers hit the road to Houston and plan on bringing home a ring. It was a big scoring game for the Charlotte Hornets. The Hornets were coming off back-to-back losses to the Atlantic Hawks, games in which Kimber Walker twice failed to make the tying shot at the end of regulation. With team owner Michael Jordan sitting on the end of the team bench, the Hornets held 100 points in the first 3 quarters. the most points allowed during that span by the Bulls since 1990. Final score, Hornets 130, Bulls 105. Goes against his former club as the Dallas Stars beat the Bruins 5-3 on Tuesday night. Boston, unbeaten on the road, has yet to win consecutive games at this home season. Final score, Stars 5, Bruins 3. And that's your JSNN Sports Report. I'm Aniecia Brewster. Back to you, Brittany.
Thank you, Aniecia, for that sports report. Before we go, here's a recap of our top stories for Jackson State News Now. Mississippi voters said no to Initiative 42. Ohio will not be the fifth state to legalize recreational marijuana. And the Yale fraternity is under fire for its white girls only party. And for Aniecia Brewster, I am Brittany Williams. Thank you for tuning in to Jackson State News Now, part of the JSU's News Network.